Now let's talk about hair, skin, and nails. This is a big one when it comes to thyroid dysfunctions. I'm always looking at the hair, the skin, and the nails. Now let's talk about the nails first. And I love it when people have natural nails because I can actually get an accurate depiction. And if not, I'll just ask them to just if I can see their toenails and see what they say. But what I'm looking for is that the extension of the nail as it comes out, the lighter part as it comes out off the nail bed, I want that to be hard. I don't want it to yield to my pressure and bend and curl in when I press down in on it. And if it does, that tells me that they're probably, number one, lacking minerals, because minerals, extra minerals, go to our nails to produce good, strong nails. And number two, it could be a thyroid dysfunction. So I'm gonna then look really closely at that lighter part of the nail that comes off the nail bed to see if there's any layers to it. I call it shaling. Shale. Because you know, like the shale that's in like rock, it's kind of like that, where the nail will actually peel off the top layer and maybe a second layer. And a lot of people with thyroid dysfunctions will identify with this. Yes, my tips of my nails will shale. I'm also looking for changes in coloration, and so you're going to see a lighter color coming off. So if you see like the nail bed, now I can only show you my nails and I'm white skinned, so I couldn't really give you a depiction of what someone else's nail might look like. But you know how it's kind of like pinkish and shiny, but then as it comes off, you'll see a bit of a white, right? You'll see a lighter coloring as it comes off the nail bed. It's not going to have that skin underneath it, okay? I want to see that nice and, like, if it's a light-skinned person, if I want to see like an off-white or white coming off of that, nice strong off-white or white. And if it's kind of like clear and translucent, then I'm going to be looking closely at that and going, well, probably mineral deficiency. It's kind of like when you look at your teeth, right? You look at your teeth and you can see if there's minerals, if there's mineral depletion, because the teeth are not gonna, they're gonna have, I call them spots of low minerals, demineralization. You're gonna see that in the teeth, and the teeth are not gonna seem as like white and opaque. They're gonna seem more translucent. And you'll see these like translucent spots on the teeth. Hair, skin, nails, and teeth. All right, so my crooked teeth and I have a few mineral spots. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I don't have very good teeth. Okay, can you see that there's one right there and there's one there and there? Okay, I've got quite a bit of demineralization at the front of my teeth, and I've had for years. All right, so that's deficiencies. That's mineral deficiencies. It's that when I was young, I had mineral deficiencies, and that's the result. Okay, so it's not that I need to whiten my teeth more. It's demineralization. Okay, so I need more minerals. I need even more minerals than what I'm getting, obviously, and hopefully that can eventually come back, so that my teeth can remineralize. Right. So that's another thing I look for, is demineralization in the teeth. Another thing I look for is the hair. So when my thyroid dysfunction was discovered, my TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone, we'll get into that in another video. It was about, like, they couldn't even track it. It was so out of range. They couldn't even give me a number. So it was a pretty bad situation. So look at this naturopath telling you how bad the thyroid situation was before she found it. Well, I didn't have a medical doctor at the time, and finally I got one. They did some tests. I didn't have access to lab tests back then. So my hair was frizzy and scraggly looking. They say coarse, fine hair in the textbooks. Now, that's not really how I would describe it personally, though some people might identify with that, coarse, fine hair. Mine got kinky, you know what I mean? Like not crimped, but just like, blah. And it lost its coloring. It didn't have that nice dark brown to it like it does now. It kind of had like it was demineralized, basically. Demineralized hair, when you think about it. Just didn't have that robustness to it, didn't have the weight to it, didn't have the substance to it. We lose substance in a thyroid dysfunction, as well as in a mineral dysfunction, which, gotta be honest, I see the two go hand in hand a lot. I see the two happening at the same time a lot. But that's just a clinical pearl. So when I got on my thyroid medication and we got the right dose, I was on it. So 6 months later, maybe even like a year later, I actually looked at my hair. It was actually about this length at the time. And I had a line of hair, and I thought, I bet that's when I started my thyroid medication, right there, because this was all scraggly and stringy and off and kinky, and you know what I mean? But up here, it was nice and dark and smooth and it had substance to it. And I'm like, that's the thyroid medication line right there. I wish I still had the photograph of it. I should have kept it. It was amazing to see that change. So for those of you who are trying to avoid thyroid medication, I can absolutely talk you through that process because some of you may not need thyroid medication. But let me tell you, I've been on it for probably 10, 12 years now. Love it. Don't want it. Wish I didn't have to take it, but I'm so grateful for it. So there you go. I'm very grateful for my prescription medication for my thyroid condition. There you have it. Skin. I look at the face, especially around the eyes. Now, just because I see darkness around the eyes, heaviness, heavy eyelids, I don't necessarily just go, oh, thyroid. But it is something I consider, definitely. I look at around here. There's going to be subtleties around here. Around here, I notice they've been trying really hard, if this is really tense, but also that if there is skin dryness around here, I can usually tell that there's some sort of endocrine dysfunction going on. And I'm looking around the eyes, but I'm also looking at the eyebrows. Because the first thing I ever noticed in my hair loss was not hair loss. And yes, you can have hair loss in both hyper and hypothyroidism, okay? The hair loss I experienced was in the sides of my eyebrows. And I draw in, I still draw in, I've never gotten my hair back there. Now, that could be from years of plucking as well, but I do remember in my 4th year naturopathic college, not having to pluck so much that it just wouldn't come. And that was when I started tracing my eyebrows on a little bit. I've been doing it ever since. Hair loss, eyebrow loss. Look at that in terms of thyroid dysfunctions. Okay, so that's a couple of things that you're looking for. Hair, skin, and nails. Very important when it comes to monitoring for thyroid dysfunctions.